a flame of light.
With the threat of nuclear destruction, how can we be joyful and serene? What else you can do? Time is short. Dance, sing, be joyous. If there was no nuclear destruction possible, no threat, you could have postponed. You could have said, tomorrow we will dance. But now there may be tomorrow, no tomorrow. You cannot postpone. This is for the first time that tomorrow is absolutely doubtful. It has always been doubtful, but this time it is absolutely doubtful. Individually, it is always doubtful. Tomorrow may never come. Even the next breath may not come in. Individually, death is always imminent. But this time, it is something global, universal. The whole earth may disappear, may explode. Not only all human beings, birds, animals, trees, the whole life may be gone. Now it is up to you. You can cry and weep, and you can beat your head against the wall. That will not stop nuclear destruction and its threat. In fact, it may bring it closer and faster. Because sad people, miserable people are dangerous people. Misery creates destructiveness. But if the whole humanity can start dancing, rejoicing, feasting, seeing that the threat is very close by, the Third World War can start any moment. The foolish politicians have enough atomic energy piled up to destroy this earth. Not only once, but 700 times. That much atomic bombs, hydrogen bombs have become accumulated. That we can kill each person 700 times. Although a person dies only once, but politicians don't want to take any chance. So 700 times you can be killed. It will not be needed. One time will do. Because we have heard only one story of resurrection, that is Jesus Christ. And even if Jesus Christ is resurrected and everybody is gone, what he is going to do? Rejoice. Because then there is a possibility, if the whole earth can become full of joy, it will be less possible to destroy. Because who is going to destroy? We are the people. It is up to us to decide that we want to live or we want to commit suicide. If we start a new climate in the world of rejoicing, of dancing, of singing, of meditation, of prayer, and if people become full of bliss, cheerfulness, laughter, if the world is full of laughter, there is every possibility we can avoid the nuclear destruction. Because joyous people don't want to destroy. They want to create. And you are going to die. Whether the whole earth remains or not does not matter. You are going to die. That much is certain. How does it matter to you whether after you the world continues or not? If it continues, good. If it does not continue, good. How does it matter to you? You will not be here anymore. And as far as you are concerned, death is absolutely certain. Still, you love. Still, you sing, you listen to music. So what difference does it make? If destruction has become global, we have to make laughter and dancing also global in the same proportion to counteract it. Why be sad? And what you are going to gain by sadness, is it going to help in any way? It may be just a trick of the mind to keep you sad. It may be just a defense. You must be sad. Now you are trying to find more and more rationalizations for remaining sad. And this is a beautiful rationalization. That what are you talking, Bhagwan? Telling people to dance and sing and rejoice, and the world is on the verge of destruction? Tell people to be sad. Tell people to cry and weep and forget all laughter and forget all love. Is that going to help in any way? It will bring the universal suicide closer. But somewhere deep down in you there is a sadness that does not want to leave you. And that sadness is trying to find rationalizations. David came from an Orthodox family. One day he announced, Mama, I am going to marry an Irish girl named Maggie Coyle. The woman froze in shock. That's nice, David, she said, but don't tell your papa. You know, he has got a weak heart. And I would not tell your sister, Ida. Remember how strongly she feels about religious questions. And don't mention it to your brother Louis. He might give you a buzz in the mouth. Me, it is all right, you told. I'm gonna commit suicide anyway. you must have somewhere deep down a suicidal instinct. You are just finding rationalizations. Yes, I know the world is facing a danger. But each individual has always faced the danger of death. Still, Jesus says, rejoice and rejoice. And I say to you again, rejoice. And in fact, Jesus was saying to people that this world is to be destroyed soon. The day of judgment is very close by. It was never so close as it is now. Jesus was wrong. 20 centuries have passed. And he was saying to people that in your very life you will see the day of judgment. His prophecy was not fulfilled. In fact, he was not a prophet. He was a mystic. He was saying these things for a totally different purpose. He was saying the day of judgment is very close by. Transform yourself. Don't waste time. Don't postpone. Now, the day of universal death is really close by. Don't postpone. Rejoice. Rejoice. I say unto you, rejoice again and again. Because if you can die rejoicing, you will transcend death. You will go beyond death. One who can die blissfully never dies, because in death he comes to know immortality. And if the time is short, then you have to spread this orange laughter all over the world. Then it is time that we should make people more and more joyous. Tell them the death can take over this earth any moment. The days are counted. Because the politicians are fools. And the fools have so much power now that it is a sheer miracle how it has not happened yet, the Third World War. It should have happened. Why it has not happened yet is a mystery. Having all these stupid politicians all over the world, having all the power, just pushing a button and the process can be triggered. And within 10 minutes time, the whole earth will be on fire. A fire that can melt steel and rocks. A fire that will melt everything. The whole earth can explode. This is good news. You don't have time to waste. Come on, join the dance. Enough for today.